Tonight on CTV News.
Very stressful for everybody.
I think it causes some anxiety for us.
Up in the air, thousands of travelers face uncertainty as WestJet flight attendants move closer to a possible strike. Also tonight.
I think it's going to be very hard for them to win the next election as it stands.
Internal strife for the BC Conservatives. What's happening behind closed doors only months into Carrie Lynn Finley's leadership? And
while we were just finishing up, we got another call of an entangled whale over in Port Alberni Inlet, and we're like, no way.
Gentle giants tangled up in fishing gear. How two humpbacks were freed on the BC coast in back-to-back rescue.
This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Just in time for one of the busiest travel weekends of the summer, WestJet has issued 72-hour strike notice, and that means flight attendants could walk off the job as early as Sunday. CTV's Sinjin Alexander is live for us tonight at YVR, and Sinjin, passengers are already feeling the impact.
And they're already beginning to cancel flights. Now, knock on wood, so far not here at YVR, but without a deal, we can expect things to start to ramp up over the next few days.
This pair looks surprisingly calm, even though they're in charge of getting 17 kids to Toronto for a sporting event.
So we've had to completely pivot and book backup flights for everybody, which are kind of all over the place, very stressful, giving me a lot of anxiety.
A lot of passengers are anxious. First came the strike notice, then the airline said it would lock employees out. Already, flights are being canceled.
We've thought about, do we just drive back to Edmonton?
In the coming days, WestJet will take all necessary actions to manage the potential impacts as much as possible.
We're going to Vancouver for my brother's wedding. If it happens, it affects our work schedule. Our kids are with their grandparents.
In these types of situations, it gets emotional. It gets, pretty heated. But at least they're talking.
Talking, but far apart, especially on working conditions and wages. And unless they find common ground, look for more flights to be scrapped on Friday, even more on Saturday.
I think it causes some anxiety for us. Our kids are at home.
Traveling with small children, and if we get booked on a red eye or something like that, that could be a bit of an issue.
I'm not putting any of that energy out there. We're coming back on Monday.
And yet again, it's passengers who are caught in the middle.
And that's the good sign there, is that they are still talking, and for the most part, all their correspondents have been quite civil. They're not bad-mouthing each other. That's another good sign. So at this point, analysts say 50-50. But again, if they don't come to a deal as of Sunday, they are in a legal position to walk out. Nafisa.
Sinjin, thank you. To a stranger attack and robbery that sent a senior to hospital. Vancouver police are taking the step of releasing surveillance video to find the two people responsible. A warning, some people may find this video disturbing. Our Penny Deflos has the details.
It's always difficult to watch surveillance video of people getting hurt, but this one is especially tough, knowing an elderly man was injured and traumatized while out for a walk in his neighborhood. At the top of your screen, you can see the 75-year-old being pushed by one of the suspects, who slams him into a wall until he drops unconscious. Vancouver police say the group of suspects had already punched the man and stolen his belongings on East Hastings when he tried to chase them to get them back. The attack sent him to hospital.
The victim does have serious injuries. Again, this is a traumatic incident for anyone to go through. He has been released from the hospital at this time.
There were witnesses who called 911, but anyone who was in the Hastings and Jackson area of East Vancouver Tuesday morning around 9:15 and may have dash cam video is still asked to call police. While the video shows just one person assaulting the man, the VPD believed there were 3 people potentially involved in this robbery. All of them could be facing charges of theft and assault. Penny Deflos, CTV News, Vancouver.
A woman walking to work in downtown Vancouver yesterday morning ended up in hospital after what police are calling a random and unprovoked attack. Police say the woman was assaulted by a stranger, allegedly choked, bitten on the face and hand, and pulled to the ground around 9:15 a.m. near the public library at Robson and Homer. The suspect fled the scene but was arrested a block away. The pair did not know each other and the motive remains unknown. 34-year-old Jaylene McKay has been charged with assault causing bodily harm and assault by choking. She remains in custody. With a growing wildfire threatening properties near Logan Lake, community members banded together to preemptively evacuate a number of animals from a ranch. CTV's Ben Milger has more on the rescue and the latest on the fight to prevent the fire from spreading into town.
Logan Lake just flared up.
When Lorianne Saunders saw this towering plume of smoke near Logan Lake, she immediately reported it to the BC Wildfire Service.
It's pretty scary for a little town of Logan Lake because we've been through this, and so a lot of high anxiety and just sort of helplessly standing by and watching and trying to prepare as best as you could.
Saunders says Air Resources began dropping water on the fire within minutes of it starting Wednesday. Still, it's ballooned in size to an estimated 88 hectares.
The fire is right behind the ranch.
Kelly Allen is one of several volunteers who leapt into action, helping to move out horses and sheep from Logan Lake Ranch.
When I saw that fire so close, we all had to jump on it right away. It was a little bit scary.
As the BC Wildfire Service attacks the fire from the air with planes and helicopters, firefighters on the ground report rank 2 and rank 3 fire behavior.
So that just means a surface fire with some open flame, occasional candling, and a slow to moderate rate of spread. Crews today will be working on containment, including building guards and establishing hose lay and wet line from the fire's perimeter.
In the meantime, BC Hydro says about 1,200 properties remain without power due to damage from the wildfires, mostly near Clinton and in the Fraser Canyon. Saying some places could be in the dark for weeks, the utility is asking for patience.
Is going to require significant reconstruction work across quite a large area. So we don't yet know the full extent of the damage. Of course, active wildfire conditions unfortunately continue to restrict access.
For those with homes and livelihoods in danger, midsummer is no dream as the fire season continues to heat up. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
A peek outside, you can see a cruise ship coming into port. Beautiful weather welcoming them, but there is heat on the way.
Yes, there sure is. So today was comfortable. We saw mostly sunny skies with temperatures between 22 and 24. Here's a look across the lower mainland right now. 21 at the harbor, 23 in Burnaby. You're looking at 24 degrees in Pitt Meadows and 25 degrees in Chilliwack. As we head through the overnight, a few clouds, seasonal temperatures overnight. Into tomorrow will be even warmer. Sunny skies with temperatures between 24 and 28. The UV index is high, so make sure you slap on the sunscreen. We do have a cool down to kick off the long weekend, but then heading into next week, it does heat up once again. I've got the full forecast and those details coming out.
All right, thank you, Anne. Still ahead tonight, just weeks after the World Cup, FIFA is now facing a boycott by member organizations over plans to sell stakes in the soccer organization to private investors. We'll explain what it means for future competitions later on CTV News at 6. A shakeup tonight at the top of the BC Conservative Party. The man who helped orchestrate the party's climb from obscurity to official opposition is bowing out. This comes as there's growing unrest amongst a number of MLAs who are raising concerns about their leader. CTV's Rob Buffum has more.
Let's go! Carrie Lynn Finlay was elected leader of the BC Conservatives in May. But it appears the honeymoon may be over.
When a new leader puts his or her stamp on a party, it's going to ruffle feathers.
My fellow Conservatives. As of Wednesday, Party Executive Director Angelo Isidoro, widely credited with playing a big role in steering the Conservatives from grassroots to the official opposition, was out, along with multiple other staff members.
I think the bigger question is this the right stamp that she's putting on the party?
Isidoro tells CTV he feels bittersweet about his departure. Meanwhile, 6 MLAs tell me off the record that they have concerns about the direction the party is going in under Findlay's leadership.
Conservatives seem to be all about excluding people, that you're not good enough, you don't pass the purity test, you don't agree with us on absolutely everything. You can't win with that kind of formula in BC.
Upstart Party Centre BC formed to create an alternative for Conservatives who felt the party had gone too far right, and led by former BC Liberal MLA Mike Bernier, is hoping to capitalize on disgruntled MLAs in both main parties.
I've been able to talk to many MLAs across the Conservatives and the NDP, to be honest, and we're starting to make some headway.
Finley didn't respond to CTV's request for comment Thursday. The Conservatives called an emergency caucus meeting that morning following Isidore's departure and after a contentious post online of a group chat message allegedly written by Finley calling MLA Teresa Watt a member of the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party.
Either she believes that, she believes what she wrote, and she needs to take the appropriate action, or she doesn't believe that. And then she probably owes an apology not only to MLA Watt, but to the people of this province as well.
Finley hasn't confirmed or denied she wrote the comments, but posted to X that she'd had a wonderful discussion with Watt and expressed her gratitude for her support. She's still looking for a seat in the legislature after asking several MLAs, including Ian Payton and Rosalind Byrd, who rejected her requests to run in their ridings.
And Rob joins us now from Victoria. Rob, there was another change in the party's leadership we're learning about.
Well, that's right, Nafisa. We heard that last night, Ian Payton, the MLA for Delta South, we just heard about there, who's a longtime MLA who rejected the idea of giving up his seat. He sent a letter to Finley explaining that he did not any longer want to hold the position of Lower Mainland Lieutenant. It was a role, I gather, that involved filling in for her at speeches or events if she wasn't available. He tells CTV his reason for no longer wanting to do that is not related to any dispute with her. He describes her as a longtime friend, but rather he cited personal reasons, including his mother, grandchildren, and work he needs to do on the farm. Nafisa.
Rob Buffum live for us tonight in Victoria. Thank you, Rob. Now to the sentencing of a man convicted in a 2023 terrorist attack on a Surrey bus. Federal prosecutors say Abdul Aziz Kawam was driven by religious extremism, while the defense argues mental illness played a role in the violence. CTV's Kevin Chirac has more from BC Supreme Court in New Westminster, and a warning: the video in this report is graphic.
Abdul Aziz Kawam was convicted last year of attempted murder and terrorism-related offenses stemming from this April 2023 attack, captured by surveillance cameras aboard a Coast Mountain bus in Surrey. The victim survived after undergoing emergency surgery for a life-threatening throat wound. Court heard that before boarding the bus, Kawam approached another man, asked if he was Muslim, and tried to attack him after he said no. When that effort failed, prosecutors say Kawam boarded the bus and targeted a stranger. Thursday, the court heard the impact of the attack has not faded. A victim impact statement read by federal Crown prosecutor Sharon Steele described the lasting effects of the attack on the victim, whose identity is protected by a publication ban. Since the attack, I've been anxious. It's slowly getting a bit better, but it's always there. Federal prosecutors are seeking a 20-year sentence, telling the court the attack was motivated by support for ISIS, pointing to a 911 call made after the stabbing in which Kawam pledged allegiance to the leader of the terrorist group at the time. Prosecutors argued religious extremism, not mental illness, was the primary motivating factor. All of the evidence suggests that mental illness played little to no part in his decision to commit this act. The defense disagrees. Lawyers for Kawam are seeking a 7-year sentence, citing his history of mental illness, lack of a criminal record, and traumatic childhood growing up in war-torn Lebanon. The court heard Kawam experience bouts of psychosis, having delusions of being the Messiah, and was receiving treatment for schizophrenia around the time of the attack. The court heard 31-year-old Kawam faces deportation after serving his sentence. The judge is expected to hand down the sentence no earlier than October. Kevin Chirac, CTV News, New Westminster.
After the break, a desperate search for Kayla. Family and friends look for a 28-year-old who went missing at a BC music festival. But first,
it was wrapped around the tailstock in the fluke, so we worked on the animal for a number of hours.
The race to free not one but two humpbacks tangled up in fishing gear on BC's coast. And CTV News continues. Stay with us. The family of an Ontario woman who went missing at a BC music festival says they're distraught. They say it's unlike the 28-year-old to not contact them. CTV's Isabella Zavarisi reports her family has now flown to the West Kootenay to help find her.
Kayla Boisvert is a paramedic who spends her time saving people's lives. This past weekend, she went to the Shambhala Music Festival, looking for some relief from her demanding job.
She's strong, she's fierce, she's smart, and she's
she's missing.
The 28-year-old flew from Ontario to BC for the festival in Salmo. Her twin sister says she was meeting friends and had been looking forward to it.
She's always wanted to go to BC, like she loves the outdoors, so.
Diana Boisvert says Kayla was active on social media all weekend, posting videos, selfies, photos with friends. Then, around 2 a.m. on July 27th, Diana had 2 missed calls from her sister. She called back several times, no answer.
I kind of woke up in a panic and I was like, no, this is weird. Kayla usually would call me back by then.
Her phone is inactive, so she wouldn't have been able to reach out to that line anyways. It hasn't pinged since her last location, I believe 3 a.m. At the festival.
The family contacted Mounties to tell them this was out of character.
We were obviously very distraught and concerned, and because we're in Ontario and it's in BC, it was really hard with that barrier.
She's described as 6 feet tall, with brown eyes, black hair, and long blonde braids. RCMP say they're working closely with the Shambhala Music Festival and that a search and rescue team was on site yesterday and today. On Thursday, RCMP say they received a tip that she was seen at around 8:30 last night south of Salmo. They've released these new images. Boisvert's family has now traveled to BC to help.
We're putting boots on the ground because if this, takes a turn and it's something different than we expect, we want to be there.
The music festival draws some 20,000 people each year. CTV News reached out to organizers but has not heard back. Anyone with information is asked to contact the RCMP. Isabella Zavarisi, CTV News, Vancouver.
Expecting mothers in the Ridge Meadows area will have to go elsewhere for care this weekend. A maternity diversion has been put in place at Ridge Meadows Hospital. Fraser Health says it's due to a shortage of OBGYNs. The closure starts at 8 tomorrow morning and lasts until Tuesday at 8 a.m. Doctors at Vancouver General Hospital have a new tool they hope will help get cancer patients answers faster. The hospital has introduced technology that automates part of the process of preparing tissue samples for testing.
If we can take out the more repetitive aspects of it where their expertise is not as required, it can be done on a machine. That frees them up to do other similar work, but it actually requires more of their skill than the machine does. And that allows us to increase the number of tests we do, support research, and support other areas of cancer treatment.
It can prepare nearly 200 tissue blocks an hour, helping speed up diagnoses and get patients into treatment sooner. VGH says it's the first hospital in BC to use the technology. 2 humpback whales are now swimming free thanks to a Fisheries and Oceans Canada crew that responded to 2 separate disentanglements in one day off Vancouver Island. On Tuesday, BC's Marine Mammal Response Network responded to a report of an entangled humpback whale in the northern Salish Sea. The team used a drone to assess the whale, known as Wiggins, and spent several hours carefully removing rope wrapped around its tailstock and fluke. As the team was wrapping up this rescue, a second call for help came from the Port Alberni Inlet about another humpback wrapped in fishing gear.
It's kind of a great news story. We're seeing a lot more humpbacks in inshore waters, but we're also seeing with that large number of humpbacks, we're seeing overlap with fishing gear. So we are seeing a little bit of a pulse in entanglements, but we're the last line of defense, and we're out there when we do get an entangled whale. And, hopefully we don't continue to get 2 in one day.
The second whale suffered injuries, and it's not known how quickly it will recover. The team is trying to determine the source of the gear, and working to reduce future entanglements. After the break, calls for change.
Tomorrow we get back to work because Parker deserves change so that this never happens to anyone else.
How the death of an 11-year-old boy who had autism is renewing calls for a new alert system for vulnerable children who go missing. A Officials in southwest France are allowing 84,000 people who were evacuated because of a massive wildfire to return home. The Gironde wildfire has already burned an area 4 times the size of Paris. Officials are hopeful the wildfire, the country's worst since 1949, is no longer spreading. At its peak, the fire displaced more than 220,000 people. It has also destroyed 240 homes. Fire officials in Spain are bracing for tough days ahead, with high temperatures and strong winds expected to increase the wildfire risk. 1,000 people from 6 towns in the northwestern part of the country have been ordered to shelter in place. Much of Europe has endured record-breaking heat waves this year, and hot, dry conditions are allowing wildfires to spread faster. Rescuers are racing to find survivors after the deadly earthquake that struck Japan, as the death toll from Tuesday's quake has risen to 23. Crews are searching through a badly damaged shopping mall in the town of Kashima, which was filled with shoppers when the earthquake struck. An explosion tore through the mall, causing its second floor to collapse. 6 people are confirmed dead. Crews are also searching through a paper factory in the Yatsushiro area after a chimney collapsed, killing 8 people. 10 people have been rescued. 1 is still missing. People in Calgary are mourning the loss of 11-year-old Parker Wells. The nonverbal boy with autism went missing July 16th, and after a 2-week search, police found the boy's body Wednesday. CTV's Tim Brooke has more on the community coming together to grieve.
In Lake Hawk Park, not far from where 11-year-old Parker Wells was last seen, a public memorial is growing.
His family's probably going through a lot, and there deserves to be a lot of memories left behind.
It's not just here either. Up the hill, more flowers and teddy bears, and more notes, a testament to the impact Parker had on complete strangers. Many gave countless hours of their summer to an exhaustive, desperate search.
I just feel horrible. Like, I feel like I could have searched the areas better, but...
After leaving his day home July 16th, police say Parker took this route through northwest Calgary and was last spotted here. It's believed he entered a culvert on the west side of Deerfoot Trail. Police say his remains were found on the east side of Deerfoot after he made his way through a maze of tunnels.
We reckon with this devastating news, and we stand with Parker's family as they begin what it has to be an unimaginable journey through grief. And I want to use this opportunity just to ask Calgarians to keep them in their thoughts and prayers.
The search and its ending touched so many. Experts urge Calgarians to talk it through with their neighbors who are likely feeling the same way. And parents shouldn't be afraid to explain to their children in simple terms what happened.
Validate their feelings, especially about their own safety. Again, that the uniqueness of the situation was extraordinary, and I think we want to do this in such a way that we don't contribute to the fears that kids may have about their own safety.
It's not what anyone was hoping for, but some mourners say a devastating resolution is still better than the unknown.
So there's closure for the family. My heart goes out to them, and I hope that they can go on with life, but at least we know something.
Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
Now, the boy's death has renewed calls for an alert system for missing vulnerable people who don't qualify for an Amber Alert. And as CTV's Kevin Green reports, a woman who started the petition for Indigo alerts is now getting support from provincial and federal politicians.
The tragic death of Parker Wells has amplified calls for a new alert system for vulnerable people who go missing.
Change needs to happen. And I hate that we had to lose Parker. For it to be so crucially important.
For Jen Ball, Parker's story is personal. She's the mother of a nonverbal autistic boy and has been campaigning since Parker disappeared for an Indigo alert system for children like Parker.
Today we grieve, and today is incredibly heartbreaking and painful. Tomorrow we get back to work because Parker deserves change so that this never happens to anyone else.
Parker's case did not meet the criteria for an Amber Alert because police had no evidence Parker had been abducted. One was issued, but 2 days after he vanished on the request of Calgary Police. There is already a subscription-based system maintained by the Missing Children Society of Canada.
You can use it on your desktop, you can use it on your phone. There's really quick, clear instructions with it, and you just register for alerts.
Ball says it shouldn't be a subscription, it should be a push alert. Federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, whose daughter Valentina is also autistic and nonverbal, is as well calling for stronger protections for autistic children.
Change whatever rules necessary to make sure that somebody goes missing, that there's an alert that goes out, people know that perhaps the child missing has special needs and that they can be on the lookout to help and protect that child if they find them.
Poilievre says police need a way to warn the public quickly when a vulnerable child disappears, even when there's no evidence of a crime. Ball's petition has now gathered more than 20,000 signatures, and she says her campaign will continue in Parker's memory.
My heart is with you. We are there for you if you need anything. And truly, we will fight for change in Parker's name.
Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
After the break, Anne will be back with a peek at the long weekend forecast. Plus,
there's absolutely an increase in interest in this field.
We'll take a dive on the HMCS Cornerbrook, a Canadian submarine that just took part in the world's most important naval exercise, as Canada looks to expand its submarine fleet.
Time now for tonight's Skywatch. Some cruise ship tourists milling around Canada Place under a bright blue summertime sky.
CTV Skywatch is brought to you by Kermac Collision and Autoglass, the name you'll remember when it matters. Kermac cares for kids.
The BC Day-long weekend is set to start August off with a literal bang in Vancouver with the city-sponsored Summer Lights fireworks show happening Friday night over English Bay. Dozens of other events are scheduled around the region, and we've got a full list of fun things to check out on our website, ctvnewsvancouver.ca. A zoo in Prague has found an effective way to keep its polar bears cool during the scorching European summer heat wave. The two polar bears wasted no time cooling off, rolling around in beds of ice cubes in the outdoor enclosure. It's a timely treat, with highs hitting 38 degrees Celsius. Zookeepers say the ice is also a stimulus for the bears to engage in some physical and mental activities. I guess they don't get brain freeze.
No, not at all. Or fur freeze. They look like they're having fun, though.
They were made for it.
Definitely. All right, let's take a look at our forecast. Beautiful day today. It's going to heat up tomorrow, all thanks to this ridge of high pressure just towards the south of us. It'll strengthen as we head through the day tomorrow. Low pressure system offshore, and that's keeping things unsettled along the coast for Haida Gwaii, north coast, and central coast. Wildfire smoke is still impacting the air quality for the central interior as well as the southern interior for the next 24 to 48 hours. We do have a yellow warning in effect, so anybody with respiratory problems are advised to stay indoors. And there is that low pressure system. It'll cool things down as we head into Saturday and into Sunday, but don't worry, that doesn't last very long. Starts to heat up just in time for holiday Monday. For the next 24 hours, it looks like this, mostly clear around 9 o'clock, clear skies at midnight. We start off the early morning commute with sunshine and 17 degrees, and it stays sunny throughout the day. UV index is 7 or high. Inland temperatures reach 28 degrees just around 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So you'll see a lot of sunshine for the southern interior and hazy skies. Your provincial forecast at the bottom of your screen. Cloudy showers for Port Hardy, 16 degrees. Sunny breaks for Campbell River and Comox with a high of 21. You'll see a few breaks for Tofino. Overcast skies for Port Alberni. Sunshine from Nanaimo right down to Victoria. Temperatures in the low 20s. Mostly cloudy skies for the Sunshine Coast and 20. Warmer and clearer up the Sea to Sky Highway. You're looking at 24 degrees for Whistler, 28 degrees for Squamish, and for us across the lower mainland. Sunny skies with temperatures between 24 degrees near the water, 28 degrees further inland. Heading into Saturday to kick off the long weekend, we'll start off wet, but it does clear up through the afternoon, 21 degrees. Slight chance of early morning showers on Sunday before it clears out of the way on holiday Monday. That's when the warm-up starts, sunny skies and 23 degrees, and then it heats up. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're looking at temperatures between 26 degrees near the water, 32 degrees inland. On Thursday, a touch cooler under sunny skies, but still above seasonal temperatures, 24 degrees near the water and 29 degrees inland. So if you like the cooler temperatures, you'll definitely enjoy the start of the long weekend and not next week.
Yeah, I'm liking the look of Monday, but we'll talk about Tuesday and Wednesday when we get
definitely.
there. Thanks, Anne. Well, after a 12-year absence from the world's most important naval exercise, Canada's HMCS Cornerbrook is back in the water. CTV's Anna McMillan spoke with the submarine's commanding officer about the exercise, a new mission, and what it means for Canada's naval future.
For the first time in 12 years, a Canadian submarine is taking part in the world's largest naval exercise.
By signaling that our submarine service is capable in participating in these operations to our allies and partner nations, it shows a commitment and it shows a capability and it shows a level of trust that we can be counted on to be supportive partners in the Pacific.
HMCS Cornerbrook is the submarine behind Canada's underwater return to RIMPAC, the Rim of the Pacific War Games in Hawaii, which end tomorrow.
We are operating at a level now much higher than when we arrived, thanks to this type of training.
Let's get straight already, sir.
Here, the Cornerbrook's crew prepares to torpedo a decommissioned American warship as part of the training exercise. The sub is one of 5 participating in the month-long exercise, which includes 30,000 military personnel from 30 countries.
Oh, there it goes!
Canada has 4 submarines, and the Cornerbrook is the only one that's operational. It returned to service last year following a 14-year period of repairs and upgrades.
This is a huge step up for Canada we haven't seen for over a decade.
It signals Canada's future as a submarine nation, with up to 12 new German-made subs joining the Navy in the 2030s.
The world is more disruptive than it ever has been. We have to protect our shores, and we've got a lot of coastline, three oceans.
That retired Army general says keeping the Cornerbrook in the water is essential.
Because we're going to need that crew that's on this boat now to actually multiply themselves by 12. So each and every one of those sailors that's on this boat are going to find themselves to be trainers for the next generation of submariners.
The Cornerbrook's commanding officer is encouraging people to join that next generation.
There's absolutely an increase in interest in this field. Yeah, I'm not the recruiting person and the training person, but I know she's very busy.
The Cornerbrook and its crew are staying in Hawaii for a few more days of training before spending the next several months conducting operations in the Pacific. Anna McMillan, CTV News.
After the break, the Canadian student who's built an app to stop you from doom scrolling. But first,
is there a HEPA filter on it?
There is no HEPA filter on it. Absolutely none.
For years, he's been paying for something that was never installed to the tune of $3,700. What happened when CTV News investigated? Taking a look at today's markets, the Canadian dollar increasing again, trading a little more than 71 cents U.S. Oil down by 87 cents, trading around $83 a barrel. Gold saw a $63 bump. On the stock market, the TSX gained 172 points. The Dow Jones gained 613 points on the day. If you need a new furnace or air conditioner, you can buy them outright, make monthly payments, or sign a rental contract. You might also be talked into accessories like air cleaners and water softeners, but make sure you pay. If you pay for something, make sure you actually get it. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
The furnace is right behind your dresser.
Joe Kwiatkowski of Oshawa got a new furnace in 2022. It's a tight fit in his home, and he says he doesn't need to check it often. He agreed to buy the furnace and signed a 10-year contract.
I think it was some kind of a promotion, but I did need a furnace, so they came, looked at it, and says, okay, we'll replace the furnace.
Kwiatkowski says he was told he should also purchase a HEPA filter, which cleans the air. His original contract shows he was paying $110 a month for the furnace and $70 for the HEPA filter, although payments have gone up. He never really noticed a difference in the air quality in his home, and recently he needed to get a new air conditioner and was shocked when the installers told him the HEPA filter he's been paying for wasn't there.
Is there a HEPA filter on it?
There is no HEPA filter on it. Absolutely none.
Over the past 4 years, the charges for the HEPA filter that was never installed now total $3,700.
Joe, you've been paying for a HEPA filter for almost 4 years, and you don't have one.
That's correct.
So what do you think of that?
They're taking money out of my account for something I don't have. I'm paying for something I don't have.
Kwiatkowski signed the contract with Sandpiper Energy Solutions. When CTV News reached out to Sandpiper, the company said, "This matter has been resolved and our client has been informed." Sandpiper immediately canceled the HEPA filter contract and refunded Joe the $3,700, which was great news for him.
I'm very glad I called CTV. Very glad. I didn't expect such a fast response. Really, really thankful. CTV, you guys are the best.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
A young man in Quebec has created a new social media app with the goal of limiting people's exposure to the technology. 21-year-old Alexis Bossé launched Livio in May. The only audience on the app is your friends, and you can interact through private photo reactions and messages. Livio has no algorithm, no ads, and at the end of the feed, there's a message that says, "You've seen it all, the rest is offline."
The idea really came to mind 2 years ago when I wanted a healthier experience on social media. We can take matter into our own hands and really have a change on the world.
A recent report from Statistics Canada recommends no more than 2 hours of screen time a day, but the agency found nearly 40% of young people who did not follow that guideline. The latest Spider-Man movie is getting ready to swing into theaters, but before that, The Odyssey has just surpassed a key box office milestone.
We won the war. Help me go home.
The star-studded take on Homer's ancient epic has been in theaters for just shy of 2 weeks. Looking across North America, Deadline reports the movie brought in more than $330 million US by the end of day Wednesday. It took Christopher Nolan's Oscar winner Oppenheimer 595 days to reach that same figure. The Odyssey is also Matt Damon's highest-grossing movie in a lead role at the domestic box office. A portrait of U.S. President Donald Trump painted with horse manure has been sold for $1,800. Vancouver Island artist Wendy Chartrand created the piece using what she calls an appropriate medium, saying it reflects her feelings about U.S. politics. The painting, titled The Dawn of Dung, was featured at the Souk Fine Arts Show, where it sold in just 1 day. After the break, Make-A-Wish goes supernatural at the Calgary Stampede for a very special kid. Plus, a custom set of wheels for a tiny kitten. How an animal shelter had to get creative when this little guy was just too small for a regular cat wheelchair. And later, Adam finds out what happens when a group of 80-somethings go searching for something sweet, and their quest takes an unexpected turn on the Sawatsky sign-off. Right now, here's Craig Krause with a preview of Your Morning Vancouver.
Friday on Your Morning Vancouver, the Whitecaps return to BC Place, but they'll be without an all-star. Sebastian Berhalter is on his way overseas, but what does that mean for the team moving forward? We'll be joined by former player Toussaint Ricketts. The annual Pride Parade is back. We'll be joined by local organizers as Vancouver's West End welcomes crowds. And backyard barbecue season is in full swing, and we have recipes inspired by our beautiful province. See you in the morning.
Hawaii's Kilauea volcano is at it again. It's spewing lava from a dome fountain, creating a really stunning pool of lava. There's currently an orange watch at the famous volcano, meaning it's exhibiting heightened or escalating unrest. Kilauea is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. Europe's governing soccer body has voted to boycott future World Cups if FIFA goes ahead with its plan to sell stakes in future competitions to private investors. FIFA President Gianni Infantino wants to spin off FIFA's commercial operations into a new $20 billion subsidiary with 20% owned by private investors. Infantino has set a September 19th deadline. Sorry, I am coughing here. We're going to have to move ahead. So sorry. Infantino has set a deadline of September 19th for member countries to accept a $20 million offer in the controversial plan. The European body known as UEFA held an emergency meeting today. Okay, we're moving on to the hockey. Today, the International Ice Hockey Federation announced that Russia will not participate in the Men's World Championship, the Men's Junior Championship, or the Under-18 World Championships. The organization says a decision on the 2027 Women's World Championship will be made separately in November. If there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. Or in this case, Make-A-Wish Canada. The charity granted 7-year-old Brent's wish for a Ghostbusters adventure at the Calgary Stampede grandstand today. He joined forces with the mayor, police, and the Alberta Ghostbusters for the day. Naturally, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man made an appearance, but they handled it like pros. The adventure all caught on video to make a little movie for Brent. The organization says wishes like these are worth the effort.
They are very important to bring everybody together, and we are very grateful to our Calgary community who showed up for this wish and show Brent that everybody is with him.
Make-A-Wish provides wishes for children diagnosed with critical illnesses to help give them and their families hope. We've been waiting for this story all day.
Yes.
A tiny kitten is proving that a little creativity can go a long way after a DIY wheelchair helped him take his first steps.
My heart.
The kitten named Gelato arrived at an Ohio animal shelter unable to stand or walk on his own. He was too small for any existing device, so they got crafty. Rulers, zip ties, toy Hot Wheels, and they made him this custom ride, helped get him moving until a more permanent device could be made as he continues his recovery.
Look at him zoom. Oh, my He's goodness. got it down pat. Yeah. Once he gets his real wheelchair, he's going to be so fast.
Right? All right, Lauren, what are you working on for 11:30?
Well, Nafisa, as you can imagine, it's been an incredibly nerve-wracking time for homeowners who have been evacuated by wildfires in BC. But tonight we are learning more about the efforts underway to try and get people safely back home and also learn the fate of their properties and if they have been damaged by flames. We'll have those updates from near Boston Bar and Clinton ahead at 11:30.
Thanks, Lauren. Well, you don't have to go far from home to have a great adventure. Adam meets a group of seniors searching for a sweet treat, and they ended up finding something even better on the Sawatsky sign-off.
We find our heroes, these octogenarians and their caregivers, in the midst of a quest.
We're going for a walk in the wind to look for blackberries.
Their journey, stretching more than one whole back alley block, features resilient gardens and is fueled by fun.
And we come here to have fun and be silly.
Sue says that means telling the sorts of bad jokes that always make this bunch feel better.
Lots of laughter. Yeah.
Lots of bouquet building too, until, like all great adventures, our explorers face an unexpected detour.
One of the trees over here is a wish tree.
While Aria directs them to a tree blooming with others' wishes, our heroes are inspired to reflect on their own.
I wish.
Lee, along with Vic and David, wish to ease what physically ails them and to have more days ahead of them than behind. But they also wish for you to realize, far sooner than they did, what life is really all about.
I think to make the most that you can of every moment.
And make sure that as many of those moments as you can are spent with the ones you love the most.
And to be kind or as often as you can.
And when life doesn't unfold the way you'd hoped, like when your quest for blackberries leads to only unripened red ones,
be cheerful and happy because there's no point in being otherwise.
And seeing as they've traveled so far, why not summon the courage to bite into one of those berries anyway?
How's it doing?
How is it?
Very sour.
Really, really sour.
Crunchy.
A feeling that ends up being far sweeter than the alternative.
It made us all giggle.
Made us laugh.
Yeah.
And that's what life is about.
And that's how, after turning a seemingly fruitless quest into a fruitful one, our heroes embark back home victorious. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by 1-800-GOT-JUNK. They make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Maybe a little side of ice cream.
Ooh,
I think that would really
that'd
work.
be delicious.
New
But wait
flavor,
till
maybe.
Wait till they're black.
Yeah. Depends. If you're a sour fan, maybe sour blackberries could be the next thing.
Maybe. Good advice, though. All right, let's take a look at our scenic snapshot for tonight. Stunning sunbeams over Soyuz. Thanks, Greg, for sending this gorgeous photo in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well, so email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
That's all for us tonight. Thank you so much for sharing part of your evening with us. Take care.